Hi, I'm Karen Robertson, author of the Treasure High app series, and our team is working with John Wood to turn his book, Zak the Yak with Books on His Back, into an app for the iPad and the iPod Touch to help support Room to Read. So here today we're going to talk about this project and his Zak the Yak work. Hi, John.
Hi.
Yeah. I wanted you to start first by telling us a little bit about Room to Read for people who don't know about what Room to Read is and what the work is.
Room to Read is an organization that believes that if we want to change the world, there's no better place to start than educating children, especially in the most resource-deprived parts of the world. So Room to Read brings the lifelong gift of literacy to children around the world, along with looking out for gender equality in education. So not just boys go to school, but also girls will be able to go to school everywhere.
Now, do you use the book to raise money for Room to Read as well?
Yeah, Zak the Yak is it's what I would think of as kind of a social impact book. When we sell copies of Zak the Yak or people download the iPad application of Zak the Yak, all the money that we raise goes directly to Room to Read. And it's a really neat model. As we look at, for example, the iPad application, one download will produce $3 of profit. All $3 of that profit can be donated to Room to Read. And that produces 3 local language children's books that Room to Read prints. So one download equals 3 books. And when people buy the print version of the book, because the Republic of Tea has underwritten all the production costs, we can sell that book for $10. People buy the physical book, that means Room to Read can produce 10 books. So it's a very new way of thinking.
It really is amazing. When you think for less than the cost of a cup of coffee, or a big one,
Yeah.
you can get 3 local language books into a child's hands.
One of my hopes is that I do presentations all around the world. I want to be able to say, pull your iPad out right now, download Zak. If you do that, 3 books are created through Room to Read.
And so what made you decide to turn Zak the Yak into an app?
The idea of turning Zak the Yak into an iPad app was really exciting for me, as I've been using my own iPad for the last 18 months, and you just see the colors and the interactivity and things you can do with it. And I don't think physical books will ever go away. I think there's nothing quite like a child being able to hold a book, reading at night, things like that. But of course, kids want to do things in many, many different ways. So the idea behind the iPad app, I think, brings a whole new level of interactivity to Zak the Yak.
Okay, so John, can you tell us a little bit about how the app version of Zak the Yak is going to be different from the printed version?
Yeah, the application is really fun. So there's obviously a lot you can do on the iPad. For example, when Zak's up in the Himalayas and it's snowing, you can see the snow falling. You can hear the howling winds. A child can tap on a picture of the river and they can actually hear the river rushing down. There'll be a soundtrack so you can use it. The application itself actually, of course, children can read along with it, but they can also hear my voice reading the book and narrating. So a younger child may even be able, a 3-year-old may be able to actually take the book and read it with the narration. We even have a surprise character who shows up. There's a Himalayan marmot, and you can't see the Himalayan marmot, but if the child taps the right part of the screen, that little Himalayan marmot just might pop up and surprise him or her at a different point of the book. The goal is to release Zak the Yak on the iPad, or Zak the app as we think of him, in early June of 2012. So I hope people will get excited. It's just part of the whole goal of building Zak the Yak into this iconic brand that will help children to really understand what Room to Read does, what Room to Read is all about, and hopefully then those kids will decide to get involved, or as we say, take yaction.